be giving you Casa De Ludus Sunday at 7 p.m. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all had a great weekend. Mine was pretty good. Kids are pretty happy, so that definitely makes for a good weekend. Anyways, let's get into the news. According to Games Radar, two JRPGs are doing very well in their crowdfunding campaign through Kickstarter. Runa, which is dubbed as Xenoblade Chronicles meets Persona, raised 750% of their campaign at $375,000, which has allowed them to add several minigames like fishing, farming, and cooking. The other game is Alzara Radiant Echoes. Their goal was reached in just 2 days, and they have a little bit of extra at $125K. A veteran Morrowind developer returns to Bethesda after 20 years to make more mods for the game. His latest project, The Red Wisdom, is an extensive quest line. Get ready to find out the secrets behind the Morrowind burial sites. Google had a huge debacle when the cloud deleted an Australian pension fund consisting of $135 billion, including all of its backups, putting 615,000 people on an excruciatingly long 2-week panic. Personally, I find it strange that it was worded the cloud deleted it. It's crazy. Think about that for a minute. Back up your backups, y'all. Ghost of Tsushima became PlayStation's biggest single-player launch on PC, beating God of War and Marvel's Spider-Man. Due to financial hurdles, Final Fantasy maker Square Enix is aggressively pursuing a multi-platform strategy. They reported an almost 16% loss in profit, despite the game industry itself earning almost 3% more than last year. IGN recently made a comment about the famous content creator Kai Cenat. They congratulated his Elden Ring victory in a tweet and added something unnecessary and passive-aggressive. They apologized earlier today. The apology is receiving mixed reviews on the tweet itself. You can find all of these on my Twitter account. Nintendo has announced that the Switch's successor will not roll out till April next year at the earliest. According to horror genre leaker Dusk Golem, Capcom is working on another Resident Evil 1 remake, featuring a different third-person view, more zombie models, better lighting, background, and delves further into the Resident Evil 1 lore. Some of these rumors are indeed true, but details are muggy, like if it's indeed Resident Evil 1. Adult Swim is taking a step back and playing titles like DBZ, Sailor Moon, and Naruto late at night. It's pretty cool. I love that. We have only 2 days till Hellblade 2 comes out. I'm getting excited about that. I got the Xbox Game Pass, which it releases on it. It's pretty cool. Stardew Valley released a cookbook to bring your favorite pixelated meals to the dinner table in real life. It's crazy. Kind of cute. Kind of cool. It'd be fun, honestly. Now that I think about it, I might buy it just to do it with the kids. It's a good idea. It's pretty cool. Tomb Raider developers launched a site on February 14th, Lara Croft's birthday, revealing the new look the character will be adapting. She looks eerily familiar to a Call of Duty skin released in 2023, essentially confirming fans' suspicions that it was a possible teaser. They are currently working on the next installment, Tomb Raider Next. That's all I have for the news today. Here in a minute, we're getting ready to bring on our guest, NoxDrakon. All right. And we are here with NoxDrakon. He's a good buddy of mine. You can find him on Insta, X, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. He's a pretty cool guy. I follow him myself. I suggest you guys do too. But that's enough about me. I'm going to give the floor over to him. And I want to say, tell us about yourself, buddy.
Hey guys, Nox here. Yeah, I do a lot of different stuff actually. So I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm an artist. I do 3D printing. I do graphics design. I actually do ghost hunting on the side as well. I've got a YouTube for ghost hunting as well. So I kind of do a wide gambit of things. But yeah, I go by NoxDrakon, and yeah, you can find me on all those different social medias. Like I said, you can kind of follow my story. I'll post on them quite a bit. Different stuff that I'm doing. Like I have art that I'll post that I'm doing, like really cool art stuff. Like right now, I'm working on a Mother's Day gift for my mom. I 3D printed it. I'm using spray paint that looks like stone texture. So I'm spray painting it to make it look like stone, stuff like that. So I'll probably post that when that's done and stuff like that. But yeah, currently gaming. In gaming, I am been playing Destiny 2 a lot, getting ready for the new DLC for Destiny 2. I'm excited for that. Uh, but I just unlocked the Super Black shader. I'm super excited for that. That was a pain in the butt to get in Destiny 2, but I worked like 3 weeks trying to get all of the parade armor and set, and then the black armor set that goes with that, or shader, I mean, that goes with that. So that was really awesome. I just unlocked it last night. So
Yeah. We all know how important those achievements are on games that take a long time to farm. I mean, that's hours of life taken away putting into that. So like, yeah,
oh
it's
yeah,
horrible. I can
yeah,
remember.
because there was a bunch of challenges, and it was pretty much like, here's a sword, and you have to go from 0% to 100%. And here is a machine gun. You got to go from 0% to 100%. And so it gave you a gambit of different weapons that you had to complete with.
But I noticed you said you like 3D printing. What kind of stuff have you 3D printed? What kind of stuff do you like to print?
Well, I have printed just recently a PAL sphere from PAL World. I 3D printed that and hand painted it with a stand that come with it. I have 3D printed Charmander. Let's see. I'm trying to think of video game stuff that I've 3D printed. I've 3D printed D&D characters. That's not really a video game, but it's Dungeons and Dragons, so it's still tabletop gaming.
Mm,
Um,
it
I
counts.
have 3D printed a Pokédex, Pokeballs, really, gosh, you name it. And I'm trying to look around the room at different stuff that I have floating around that's 3D printed. I 3D printed the legendary skull from Halo, plus the shield and sword.
Nice.
That was awesome. That's one of my favorite things that I've actually 3D printed. It's probably my favorite, actually, out of everything that I've 3D printed, would be my legendary skull from Halo.
I would love to have like a Hyrule shield and sword, master sword,
Oh, yeah.
small version enough to fit on your desk, with the stand probably about 5, 6 inches tall. That'd be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I could
Uh,
totally print something like that, too.
yeah.
That wouldn't be too bad. I could print something of that size.
What's the most important lesson you've learned with 3D printing? Like I see like some people post like a lot of uh, 3D printings where they're really messed up and they look like they've
Hmm.
been gnarled and like cobwebs all over it, stuff like
Right,
that.
right. Yeah, so that's usually filament printing.
Mm,
And I've actually kind of stepped away from filament printing mainly because I had a lot of trouble keeping it level. So that's where that one, a lot of people have trouble with that one, is leveling the bed. So with the 3D printer or the filament printer, I currently have a resin printer. But with a
mm,
filament printer, which is the most common one, that's what you're going to see most people printing with. They're pretty cheap. They work well for the most part, but I had a lot of trouble keeping my bed level. And you have
mm.
to keep it level, otherwise the print will go all skewy and will not print correctly, and it won't stick to the bed, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely make sure it's on a level surface and you keep it level when it comes to the filament printing. That's like one of the main things, and then make sure that you've got your heat settings correctly so that it sticks to the bed of the printer. On resin printing, make sure it's nice and ventilated, because it's going to shoot out those like chemical smells and everything. So make sure it's nice and ventilated. Um, Make sure your vat isn't like over full, stuff like that. Uh, resin printing's pretty easy. Make sure you wear gloves, mask, because the stuff is toxic. But until it's hardened, and then once it's
Mm.
hardened, you're not. It's fine. You can touch it, you can work with it, and everything. You can paint it, but until it's hardened, it's kind of as like a toxic resin. So you got to be careful with it. So definitely, just with resin, I just recommend following safety procedures. that come with the machine and stuff like that. Besides that, resin has been working really great, and I've really been enjoying working with the resin printer. I've had very few fails, maybe 3 fails out of, oh gosh, let's just say 50 to 100 prints. I've only had like 3 fails, whereas with
So that's pretty efficient.
Yes, very efficient. I've had very few fails, and usually the fails were because I didn't add enough supports, which you can add supports in the program to where, like, if it has an arch and the arch is going to sag, you can add supports to it to where the arch doesn't sag. And most of the time, when I did have a fail, it was where the arch sagged because I didn't have enough supports holding it up, stuff like that. Little things that it was probably my fault, not the printer's fault. So stuff like that, just, be double cautious on everything. Measure 3 times, cut once. Those sort of things.
Yeah. Basically, make sure to keep it level and all that, so that your Eiffel Tower will not turn into the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
And you said you like D&D. Like, are you like an avid D&D fan? Like, do you have a specific character that you always play as, or do you usually play as the dungeon master? How's all that work out?
I've never played as the dungeon master yet. I haven't been a dungeon master. Currently, Shellshock has been a dungeon master, and Spartan 1803 has been a dungeon master for our campaigns, and both of those have been running absolutely amazing. We just finished Shellshock's campaign. I say just, this was like months ago, but his ran for a good 6 months, I think, and we just finished it up, and then we're on to Spartan 1803's campaign, and it's been running absolutely fantastic. It's super fun. On what I like to play, the first one I ever played as, I played as a sorcerer, and I absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed it. So now I'm playing as an artificer, and an artificer in a steampunk world is kind of like a sorcerer in the fact that I can still use spells, but they're linked to like magical machines. So it's not so much that I'm using the magic; it's the machines doing the magic. So it's kind
So is your campaign based in the Steam world, or is your character based from the Steam world?
So the campaign is based in steampunk era.
Okay, just checking. All right,
yes,
sorry.
so the new one. The first one was more your typical Dungeons and Dragons, where it's kind of medieval, where you have boats, you have carriages, you have horse riding, stuff like that. And then in the second campaign, we've gone to steampunk, and we have robots. We've got magic-driven, carriages that will do certain things that are really awesome. So all the machines run on magic in this world. It's pretty cool.
Nice. And you said you like Destiny 2.
Yes.
What exactly kind of game is that? Like, I've seen it, but I've never actually played it. I don't know if it was a shooter or an MMO.
Okay, yeah. It's actually kind of both. It's a futuristic shooter that is started with Destiny 1. Destiny's one of those love-hate games where I love it and I hate it at the same time. It's one of those games that I keep leaving and then I'll come back to it. It's one of those ones that just keeps pulling me back in. Every time I think I'm done with it, it pulls me back in. But yeah, it's a shooter, first-person shooter, and pretty much it's kind of like a futuristic Skyrim where you have to go and you have to get materials, you have to get different things to level up your character, to level up your armor. Different armor sets will drop, so you might be, say, at a 1600 power level, and then you'll go and kill a boss that drops 1700 power level stuff. Well, you'll have to get the helmet that's 1700, and then you're going to have to get the arm pieces that are 1700, and slowly rank up your different armor pieces to get to this higher level so that you can take on stronger and stronger monsters.
Kind of a Diablo take on it slightly.
Yeah.
That type of upgrade your character and your armor at the same time.
Yeah. And it's definitely fun, and then the weapons work the same way. So like you might have strong armor, so you might have this 1800 level armor, and your weapons might be at 1600, and so your weapons are doing like low damage, but you've got good defense and everything, or good strength, speed and everything, because it boosts your speed stats, your strength stats, your intelligence, so your grenades load faster, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And like, speaking of graphics design. Like I did some research on you, buddy. I googled you up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I see that you have a bachelor's degree in fine
I
arts.
do. Yes, yes, I do.
Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Okay, so yeah, I went to NEO and got an associate's degree in just general education, and so I got my associate's degree in general ed and the NEO, and then I went to Pitt State University, and I worked there for it was about 6 years. It took me to get it because a lot of the credits that they said would count at NEO did not count. And so I ended up
Mm.
working like an extra 2 years to get the degree. It really kind of sucked. But I ended up getting a bachelor's degree in fine arts, and so with an emphasis in education. So I can actually, if I wanted to, I could go and teach art education, kindergarten through 12th grade.
Nice. We need more educators, and they need way more better pay.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I definitely
yeah.
agree with that. I did teach
Definitely
for
don't want to get political, but yeah.
right. Yeah, no, yeah, I know. I completely agree. I did
Yeah.
teach for a year. I taught. So as soon as I got out of school, I got a degree. I got my degree, and that summer I got hired as a teacher. Well,
Mm.
it ended up going bad. I ended up teaching at a middle school that just didn't really uh, respect the students. The students didn't respect the staff, and overall, it was a really terrible situation. And so, it put a kind of a bad taste in my mouth for teaching. And so, I actually haven't taught since 2015. Um, I enjoyed I enjoyed teaching some of the students, and working with the
Mm.
students. But overall, it was just very bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing like people take for granted about teachers, in my opinion. Like still to this day, like I think back, I realized that in every day I have thought about a teacher that I had
Mhm.
some sort of influence on some sort of decision that I'm doing that day. Yeah. Also, if you want to talk about this, if you don't, that's fine. Um, but I know you're an open guy.
Yeah.
And act openly say that you are a pansexual.
Yes. Hmm.
Would you explain that to everybody? Some
Yeah.
people don't necessarily know exactly what that is. I think it's a good point to address on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no problem.
Educate everybody.
Yeah. So this is actually kind of new for me myself. I I've always kind of struggled with my sexuality when it came to who I was. And at first, I came out as bisexual, which
Mm,
means you like both male and females.
mm,
And I realized that because about myself after talking with my wife, I'm married, and I am married to a female at birth. But the thing is I that doesn't change how who I find attractive, and it's not necessarily just sexual stuff when it comes to being bisexual or pansexual or things like that. It might just be like I might find this person attractive. I might say, hey, look, like this person might be walking down the street, and I'll say, wow, that girl's attractive, and heck, that guy's attractive too. You know what I mean?
mm.
And
Yeah,
so after a while, I got to thinking to myself, because there's so many wide genders now. There's transgender, there's non-binary, there's gender fluid, there's this asexuals. There's a large gambit. I won't go over all of them, but pansexuals are pretty much what it means to be pansexual is you find the person attractive more than the gender. So it's not so
yeah.
much that
You,
you find the gender. You might see gender, or some pansexuals don't see gender at all. They just see the person. And so
yeah,
for me, it's kind of like I see the person. And I'm like, wow, I like this person. I find this person interesting. I would like to be with this person. And so I kind of moved over into the pansexual side of considering myself pansexual more than bisexual because I felt it fit better. Whereas I love people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
don't see there needing to be a blockage between who I need to like, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. Basically, it's a way of reminding everybody that some people are attracted or more are more attracted to the soul and the aura of people that they give off more than
Yeah.
the body that transcend all that transcends the body.
Yes.
Regardless, yes, yeah, I got you. That's it's actually pretty completely understandable and completely true in a way for everybody.
I think so
You
too.
know,
Yeah, and I think everybody, like, obviously, if you're straight, then you're gonna find female. Say you're a straight male, and you're gonna
mm,
find females attractive. Well, you might it might go above that, and you might find all different females attractive. Where you're in a way half pansexual because you find that whole spectrum of the female, attractive.
yeah,
If that
like
kind of makes sense.
yeah, like me, like I'm physically and sexually attracted to women, but also I could find guys physically attractive, but I I've been down that road and I could never find a sexual.
Yeah.
I could never feel I've never felt a sexual attraction to
Well, there
guys. You know,
is. I don't know if you know this, but there is biromantic, and so there's bisexual as well as biromantic. So you don't necessarily have to be bisexual. You can be biromantic, whereas you can find romantic attraction to the male side, and not necessarily find any sexual attraction to them at all.
yeah, because like I can sit there and be like, well, that guy's pretty handsome. And a lot of times it's generally because of the way they carry themselves. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Exactly.
They
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
they own the room. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's like that's big. You know, they're the big person in the room. That's attractive to some people. Yeah, but yeah. And according to your page, I think I've read this correctly.
Mhm.
There's an actual pansexual Pride Day, and that was December the 8th.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of days out there actually now for the LGBTQ community, and I like to celebrate a little bit. I don't usually do a whole lot. Like I know our hometown has like a Pride Fest and everything, and so I like to go to that. Just to kind of show my support, just hang out for a little bit, stuff like that. But
Mm.
on the day of, I don't particularly do like anything of on that day. But it's definitely cool that they have days that we can be recognized for who
Yeah.
we are. I think that's pretty cool.
So is that day specifically for pansexuals, or is that just a Pride Day altogether?
So that day would
Is that
be
all of them?
that day would technically be just for pansexuals.
Oh, okay.
So
That's what I
there
thought.
is like
Making sure.
I'm also non-binary as well. There's also like a day just for non-binaries as well. And so
Mm.
there's a pansexual day, a non-binary day, a transsexual day, which happened to land on Easter this year, which unfortunately upset a lot of people, but they didn't realize that it just happens to be that same day every year, and it just happened to land on Easter this year, and it sucked. But a lot of people got upset about it. They're like, "Well, why was it on Easter?" Well, it's been that day every year. It just happened to be on the same day this year.
They gotta have someday. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
almost pretty much every day is going to eventually be a holiday.
I think so,
mean, what are
yeah,
you
and I'm
gonna do?
pretty sure every day is a holiday at this point. If you look up, I think if you just go to Google and look up whatever the day is and be like, "What holiday is today?" you can find a holiday for that day. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like they're still in the day. They're not still in the sunlight. They're just that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is. People eventually open up after a while. I do believe, be more open to a lot of things. Hopefully,
We can
you
hope.
never know. And you say you're also a streamer.
Yes.
What kind of platforms do you stream on, and what exactly do you stream exactly?
Okay, so currently I'm streaming on Twitch. I've thought about going to YouTube because I could do video YouTube content as well as streaming on YouTube, but I haven't made the switch because Twitch, I've already got an audience on Twitch, and Twitch has been doing pretty good. So I'm definitely still sticking with Twitch at the moment. Currently don't have any plans on switching to YouTube. But currently, I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I can. A lot of things happen. I get busy, or some days I'll just be like, you know what, I am too tired, and I just do not feel up to it tonight. And so, like sometimes I'll be able to shoot a message out and be like, hey, guy, like if I'm busy and I'm going day to day and I'm doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll usually shoot out a message and be like, hey, guys, I cannot get to it today. But if, like, for example, I was on vacation this last week, and then I've been back this week, I've kind of been decompressing from the whole vacation and everything and going to Reno, Nevada for the first time. So I'm kind of been decompressing. So I haven't streamed at all this week at all. So it's been
okay. So you're decompressing,
right? Yeah.
Computer defrag.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's been 2 weeks now since
man.
I've streamed, and I do feel bad about that because I know people like to watch.
It happens.
Like to watch me here and there, and I love my audience, and I do like having an audience. That's my main thing that I love about streaming is that I can get to chat with people. Like that's the best part about streaming, I think, is getting to play the game, of course, and then having the audience to talk to and be like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going? What's going on with your life?" And then they can give you feedback on how their day's going, or they can be like, "Whoa, you missed that part in the game," and help you out with the game. Yeah. On things that I do stream, I stream Fortnite, I'll stream Pokemon, really Destiny, Halo, really whatever I'm into at the moment, whatever kind of suits me, and I'm feeling like, okay, this is what's going on at the moment. Or if a new game just came out, I'll be like, I might hit that hard. So usually I try to do like one game a day. So I might do like Halo on Monday, Pokemon on Wednesday, Fortnite on Friday, stuff like that. And I usually try to call it like Fortnite Fridays or something like that. But the thing is sometimes I'll get into like with this Destiny thing, I needed to get that gear and I knew I needed to work on it consistently. Otherwise I wasn't going to get it by the time the date ran out. And so what I did was, instead of playing the other games throughout the week, I just played Destiny Monday, Destiny Tuesday, Destiny Wednesday. I just nailed it out. And so I'll do that while streaming as well. And I have found that the best games for my streaming platform have been Halo and Pokemon. I seem to get the most reactions with Halo and Pokemon when it comes to my streaming overall. I gained the most audience during streaming those two.
Pokemon, it's kind of like it's big. Don't get me wrong. You'll find Pokemon everywhere, even after we're all gone.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, it's kind of, like, as far as like live content and Twitch, it's kind of a niche group, but that niche group is a strong, committed group.
Yes, definitely. There's always a lot of people streaming Pokemon, and so they have to find you out of the people that are streaming it, especially when a new game comes out. So like the new game might launch, like the new one that's coming out, Zeta through Alpha or something like that. Pokemon Legends Zeta through Alpha, I think, is the next one. When that one launches, like there'll be a ton of streamers all playing it. And so the problem is yeah, I want to play it too, and I want to stream it too, but then you're going to have trouble because all those big name people are going to be streaming it, and they're going to have to find you when I'm still growing, as a content creator. They're going to have to find me, down the list a little bit. But that's the problem with streaming some of the bigger name games, whereas sometimes it's better, I've found, to stream, like, say that new game just came out. Sometimes it's better to stream like Pokemon Red or one of the original ones, just because someone out there might be like, hey, I want to watch Pokemon Red today. I don't feel like watching that new one. And they'll come and they'll find you easier because you're streaming that niche game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My biggest problem right now with streaming is that, like, I was doing good. I was playing Fortnite, but then I wanted to take a little break from that. So I started playing Hollow Knight, which is great. It's like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and that's my favorite game.
Nice.
And I love that game. I still play it off and on to this day. It drives my kids nuts. But yeah, then I was like, okay, you know what? I kind of want to play Minecraft. So I started building I love fishing in Minecraft. It's one of the most boring things for most people, but I love to fish in Minecraft. I was going to build me a boathouse.
Nice.
And I got it almost done, and it looks amazing. But then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go back to Fortnite. And I got all these projects started all at once, and I knew I shouldn't have done. So now I don't know what to do, because I was also playing Vampire Survivors.
Nice.
And I'm like, man, I got to unlock all these guys.
So yeah, like what I said, what I do is what I try to do, unless the game takes precedence, I would do like Minecraft Mondays and Fortnite Fridays, and then Vampire Wednesdays or something like that, is what I would recommend.
Yeah. But what's something that your content creation path has brought in front of you that you didn't expect?
Ooh, the rise in
opportunity or something.
Right, yeah. couple things. The rise and fall of the fans. When I first started streaming, I got up to 200 followers streaming Pokemon, and then I ended up dying off for about a few months. I want to say 3 months, where I just didn't stream. And when I came back, I was hoping some of the people from that original following, because they still followed me, but I was hoping that some of them would come back because I came back to Pokemon because I kind of beat what I was doing. And so I just kind of stopped streaming for a while. And when I came back, I was hoping that they would still be there, and they weren't. Like I had those 200 followers,
Yeah.
it was doing good, and when I came back, it was dead, just completely dead, and I had to restart from scratch, building followers again, and that's kind of sucked. So a lot of the followers that I have just don't really attend the streams anymore because they watched me when I was streaming Pokemon back in 2022, and then they've just kind of backed off, and so that kind of sucks. That would be something that I didn't really expect, the drastic drop off of followers. But a good thing though that happened was one night while I was streaming, I didn't realize this until partly through the stream. I was again streaming Pokemon. I believe it was Pokemon. No, it was Nexomon. I was streaming Nexomon, which is kind of like a Pokemon ripoff. Another really good game. I was streaming Nexomon, and next thing I know, I get a message from the Tulsa Gaming Center, and Tulsa Gaming Center was playing my feed live on their projector at their Tulsa Gaming Center.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was really awesome. They messaged me and they're like, "Hey, we got you up live," and they sent me a video, and it panned across their gaming center, and there was my stream live for everyone to watch on the wall.
That's awesome. That'd be pretty cool.
It was
Be
really
like
cool.
kind of like a small adrenaline rush. There we go. That's a hard word to
It
say
is,
sometimes.
yes. Yeah, definitely. It was so awesome. So I have this little thing. I've got this little photo album, and it's a Twitch photo album. I've got Twitch on the cover, and it's different things that have made me like want to keep streaming. Like the first dollar I made, I feel like Mr. Krabs. I have the first dollar I made in there.
Nice.
And then I have a picture of the screenshot from when I was live on the wall there, and different comments that people have made. Like this one, it's time for Fortnite again. And then someone said, for those that missed Nox's stream, it was really fun. We had a blast. And those big dinosaurs like creatures do be cool. So
Do be cool.
different comments like that. Like if someone leaves me a really nice comment, like in Discord or on the chat, I'll screenshot it and I'll put it in that book, and that'll kind of boost my morale when I'm feeling down. And I think that's pretty cool. So I definitely recommend that too.
I'm gonna ask follow-up questions. I think we got a pretty decent amount of content. It's pretty fun. I'm having a blast. Let's see. Where's that question at? I lost my spot.
Right.
Oh, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Ooh. Gosh, that was 15 years ago. You want me to go back that far?
So long ago. Don't remind me.
I know, right? My 20-year-old self. Let's see. What was I doing at 20? I think I was living with shell shock at that time.
Nice.
Actually, we all got a house together. That was fun. It went terribly and not recommended, but it was fun at the same. It was terrible and fun at the same time. But overall, it was fun. But if I had to go back, what would I recommend? I would recommend probably doing more soul searching before picking a career and going for it. Because I just kind of picked teaching because I thought, oh yeah, that'll do it. I'll love that. Let's just go for it, and I just went for it. And looking back now at 35, I think if I had done more soul searching and really maybe found a career that would have fit me better. Not that teaching is, not necessarily not going to be my thing at some point in life. It might be, you never know. But I have to say, do more soul searching and really, really don't just jump at the first career that you think would be it. I think that'd be my suggestion.
Yeah, don't dive in too deep. Yep, I get you right there completely. It's been my problem a lot. I go head first sometimes, and yeah. And the water goes up your nose. Oh,
right.
Goodness. Who was the most influential person in your life? How did they impact you?
Ooh. Two people probably. Probably my karate teacher. I had a karate teacher that John Longenberger, and he taught me for years, second grade through, or probably third grade through senior year, and he taught me karate, and he did really good. He taught me patience. He taught me balance. He taught me how to control my emotions well, things like that. I think I would say he was very influential. And then my band director, Mr. Dunn, I'd have to give a shout out to him because of how he shaped my leadership abilities. Because he really set out to help me become a leader and just learn how to speak for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would definitely say those two teachers were probably my two most influential.
And one last question before we let you go. Where can we expect to see you in the next 5 years?
Oh, what is this? Is an interview, isn't it?
I'm
No,
sorry.
no. That's good. That's hilarious. God, I do think about this a lot actually, and where people will see me in the next 5 years, or where I'll see myself in the next 5 years. And I currently I don't know. I think I'll still be streaming, definitely. Possibly as a graphics designer, online, possibly doing odd jobs, graphics designing. Most likely would do it part-time graphics design, or working for a corporation that I could do it at home graphics design, because I've got everything I need at home to do graphics design. So it would most likely be something to that effect. And I think somewhere around there is probably where you'll see me in 5 years. If I had to guess, I think streaming, gaming still, because I love gaming, and I don't think that'll phase out in the next 5 years. I'll be 40 and I'm still going to be gaming. It's not going to change. I'll still be doing art of some, because art is in my blood. It's just who I am. I'm going to be doing some type of art, whether it's painting, drawing, 3D art, graphic design. It's going to be some type of art, because it's just what I love. And so I'll definitely be doing art and gaming. that is what I'll be doing. Art of some sort and gaming for sure.
Art, gaming, and music. That's two of my favorite things. A couple of things that we didn't touch on that I wanted to touch on, but I didn't want to take too much time. But before we go, why don't you tell everybody all of your social handles, your link tree, and all that? I'll make sure to link them down in the bottom too in the comments.
Yeah, I do have a link tree, guys. Heck, I don't even know what my link tree is now that you put me on the spot. I do have one.
I think it's Linktree / NoxDrakon.
I think so. Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's just Linktree / NoxDrakon.
linktr.ee / NoxDrakon.
And that's the easy way, because I like Linktree. Just a little quick shout out to Linktree. I like Linktree because they can literally go to that one thing and it has all my links. And that way I'm not like, and then on Instagram it's NoxDrakon, and then when you go to YouTube it's Nox_Drakon. They can just literally go to Linktree and get all my links. So it's definitely helpful.
Sometimes it's annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Nox. I really appreciate it. It was fun. This is my first interview, and I really liked it. And we hope to have you back sometime in the future.
Yes, definitely.
Is there anything else that you would like to add before we go that we didn't touch on?
I would just like to wrap things up here. I'd like to say, for all of you out there that are listening, I'd like to say, go for it, follow your dreams, and just honestly, just hit it hard. Like, if you don't think you can do it, just do it. Like, there's so many things out there. Like, they're gonna have your naysayers, and they're gonna say, no, you can't do that. And then you're going to look back at them in 5-10 years and you're going to say, guess what? I did it. So that's my go-to right there, is I'm going to say, just do it.
Yeah.
Nike.
All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you again so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I want to thank you guys again for listening. It means so much. You have no freaking idea. This is my second episode of the chapter, and I am absolutely loving it. But I want all of us to step back and reflect on ourselves for just a minute. I want y'all to remember that you were awesome. Ain't a damn thing wrong with y'all. Whoever you are, whatever you believe, whatever it is you feel, we simply are who we are, and we simply like what we like. There are trillions upon billions of uncountable quintillions of atoms out there, and they can undergo trillions upon billions of different reactions, forms, and changes in all corners of this vast universe that comprises all of it in its entirety. But somehow, out of all those immeasurable outcomes, the universe created you, here, with all of us. Now that's a miracle, y'all. An absolute miracle. Wednesday, we will have Hello Honey as our podcast. She's fun, she's outgoing, not afraid to get a little dirty, adorable, and you don't want to miss it. Have a good day, y'all. Peace.